the e-commerce industry is among those that use web pushes the most. It's a great tool to expand your subscriber base, increase customer loyalty, and, most importantly, generate sales. To create your own web push, you only need 5 minutes and a bit of creativity. Before you start creating web push notifications, you need to have a web tracking channel configured for your website. You will find instructions for this step in the description below. For the purposes of this guide, we assume that you already have web tracking configured. The next step is to configure the web push channel for the page or pages on which you want to display notifications. If you have not completed the configuration, a notification in the ECDP platform will be displayed. You can go to the appropriate module by clicking Web Push Configure or by selecting Settings Web Push. Now go to the Web Push tab and click Enable Web Push Channel. Select the page which you want to configure. To configure the channel, you need the so-called Service Worker file. During configuration, we will check whether you already have such a file available on your website. If you do, you should add to it the line of code we are showing here. If you don't, you can download it from us and upload it to the scripts folder on your server. Once the file is uploaded, this field should indicate the path where the file is located. It might look like this. If the file verification was successful, you can start collecting consents from users. You can do this by setting a consent request for a selected page, which will be displayed to users in their browsers. You can configure it by going to the Opt-in Prompts tab and clicking Create Opt-in Prompt. There are 2 types of requests to choose from: native and personalized. Appearance will depend on the user's browser and cannot be edited. A personalized request, also known as the double opt-in, can be customized in terms of design. You can even add graphics to it. For the purposes of this guide, we will create a personalized request. In the basic settings, specify the name of the request, the website to which the consent should apply, as well as the time range for collecting this consent. You can also specify how often the request will appear and set up additional tracking. In the Triggers tab, select the action that will trigger the consent request and the conditions that must be met. You also need to set up the page type, for example, product page. You can also specify the page address, session duration, or number of pages visited. Then specify the parameters for visitors who will get the request. Choose, for example, returning visitors who have not yet consented to receiving web push notifications. In the Content tab, you can personalize the appearance of your consent request by changing its colors, adding images, buttons, text fields, or media links. Now you can quickly personalize the notification by adding the company logo and text and changing the button color. In the Summary tab, you can check if everything is correct and see how the consent request will be displayed on computers and mobile devices. If everything is correct, click Activate. Congratulations, you have just set up the web push channel. Now you can proceed to sending web push notifications with special offers or other information important to your customers. To do this, go to the side panel, select Campaigns and Web Push. Now click Create New Web Push to go to the notification editor. In the basic settings, enter a name and specify the page on which the notification should appear. You can also configure the metrics you want to track for this web push. Bear in mind that if you want to track views, you need to upload a logo in the next step, which will be shown in a moment. In the Content tab, you can personalize the message by specifying its title, text, and logo. Please note that character limits apply. This limit will be different for each operating system and browser configuration. We have provided detailed character limit information in this table. Then you need to indicate the page to which the visitor will be redirected in connection with a given message. In addition, more elements can be personalized for the Google Chrome browser, including the ability to close notifications, uploading a large graphic with an offer, or adding additional buttons. In this case, remember about the character limit. For a single button, it is 20 characters, and for 2 buttons, 13 characters each. Additionally, you can decide whether to use customer data or general data in the notification. In the preview, you can check how your web push will be displayed in browsers and in specific operating systems. In the Recipients tab, select whether the notification should be displayed to all customers or only to selected segments. The next step is sending your web push. You can schedule it for a specific day and time or send it now. To do this, go to the Summary tab and check whether all web push elements are set up correctly. If they are, click Send.